Ni imyaka banza nka 40.
40 yose. Niho yicara, niho ajya gute?
Nibaryama.
No kumugaburira?
Kumugaburira ntabasha no kubifata kuko intoki zaracagaguritse. Ahubwo agira ngo bifate bikagwa hasi. Ni ugutereka ngaho gutya.
This family is now happy after seeing their life change completely. Now, life is a lot better, and they're now looking forward to take the 60-year-old Dominico, who spent 4 years in a basket at the hospital. This is the update.
Nitwa Mukabakora Damaris.
Nitwa Leonitasi, imyaka yanjye ni 88.
We visited this family 6 months ago, and they were living a terrible life, as their firstborn Dominico mysteriously suffered a disease that made him disabled out of the blue. Dominico was born and lived a normal life before. He even went to school, finished his high school, then got a job. The young man's life by then was in a good condition, and he was working hard to help parents improve their standards of living, which could make parents proud as he could pay a lot of bills. The man later fell sick as his fingers were aching too much and later developed what looked like burnt wounds, yet he never caught fire. His fingers later started falling off. When they took him to the hospital, the whole treatment process required a lot of money, and parents brought him back home. As the man got no treatment, the situation went on even getting worse daily, that even legs started developing unusual signs. And here, parents had to do whatever and take him to hospitals, where doctors examined and concluded that the leg had to be removed for good, and the surgery was carried out successfully.
Twenganyutse ari igisebe kinini cyane ari umunuko. Aho twari turi bagombaga kuzana imiti yo guteramo kwanga umunuko.
Kuri kwa muganga?
Kwa muganga.
After the operation, the man stopped walking, and his parents had no money for a wheelchair and came up with an idea of weaving a basket where they always carried him, and that's why he spent the rest of his life for the last 40 years. He was the one supposed to look and take care of parents, but since this tragedy happened, they are the ones that have to look after him despite being very old and too weak. But they give it all and do everything possible for their firstborn, since there's no one else here who would do it. One of the man's eye too does not function, which makes his life more and more miserable, and he does not do anything. His parents are living in extreme life conditions and no longer work. That was our first visit where the man could not do anything, and his parents were also living in extreme life condition since they did not work. Today, we take a long journey back to this western part of the country. We returned with more and more for the family, as we knew they needed more to survive. After our first visit, we opened a campaign for helping this family, and a lot of good Samaritans and well-wishers contributed on giving life for helping this family that has been living under extreme poverty, yet parents were too old. We brought different kinds of food, starting from rice, maize flour, milk, juice, tomato paste, toothpaste, toothbrushes, salt, sugar, cooking oil, and many more to help them have a better life. It was a lot, and we hope that this will help them for a few months, since they are only 3, and maybe after some time they'll get more. The man spent years living in a basket where he even slept due to having no mattress, and we brought them a brand new mattress for him so that he'll be sleeping comfortably.
Turabashimiye cyane kuko twari turiho tumerewe nabi ariko turishimye cyane. Imana izakomeje kubafasha. Turishimye cyane rwose, ntacyo twaryaga, tushobora guhinga, dushobora kwasa n'urukwi, n'amazi ntayo twiha, none murakagira Imana muzahorane umugisha.
88-year-old Leonidas is the father to Domenico. He says he never expected something like this, and adds they've been living in extreme poverty with no food, no cultivating, and no money, making them live a terrible life. Today, he's happy and thanks each and everyone who contributed on giving life, so that on a day like this, they would have plenty of food and more. Since the day we left, the man's situation got even worse, that he totally turned blind. And since they had no money, they had no way of taking him to the hospital. And since he does not move or crawl, they have to bring people lifting him. And for him to reach at the hospital, they have to pay a cab. And that was not possible. They've been living a difficult life as they are too old, and other two children got married, started their lives far from here, and grandchildren also went to cities in search for a living, and whatever is done here has to be done mainly by the old woman.
none rero ubwo twashimye Imana, twashimye ko mwatugenzeye, mwadusuye, mukaba mutugaburiye, mbega Imana ibamugisha.
81-year-old Damaris says words cannot explain how happy she is today, and she asks a lot of blessings from above to each and everyone who contributed to making this possible. The old couple have spent more than 60 years together, loving one another and helping one another. They said that among all those years, no one has ever cheated on the other, and they have always been honest to each other, being the main reasons they have stayed this long together. And as they promised themselves since the day they got married 6 years ago, they'll keep loving one another until the last day, when death will do them apart. They have a lot of stories and moments together, and everyone says they're not sure if they can survive a life without each other. They advise the young generation to marry someone they love, as that is what has kept them together despite life hardships and adversities. What makes their love story quite unique and extraordinary is that among all those years, no one has ever quarreled with the other or even fight the other. They have always respected themselves and made sure they live as a good examples to everyone, starting from their own children to neighbors and the society in general. This family was also given money to help them in a case of emergency, but still need more money as Domenico has wounds all over his body that needs to be treated. You can keep helping this family by contributing on the Giving Lives link, found in description and pinned in top comments. Saving a life isn't always about performing a complicated medical procedure. It's all about putting a smile on someone's face and hearing them sincerely. Thank you for watching. I'm Elijah and this is Afrimax English. Remember to subscribe.